Thank you for all your help that you gave us today.
Ich danke dir für all die Hilfe, die uns du gegeben hast heute.
And Father, thank you that we can now meet again together and study your word.
Und ich danke dir, dass wir uns wieder versammeln dürfen, um dein Wort zu hören.
And I'm going to ask you for your blessing, Father, for your presence among us.
Und ich bitte dich darum, dass du uns deine Gegenwart schenkst.
I want to ask you, Father, that you please lead us to your Holy Spirit as you've promised to the truth.
Und ich bete darum, dass du uns leitest durch den Heiligen Geist, den du uns verheißen hast.
And help us to understand this message.
Und hilf uns, dass wir verstehen können, diese Botschaft.
And I want to ask you also that you take care of our brother that are not here with us.
Und ich bete darum, dass du Acht gibst auf unsere Brüder, die nicht hier sind.
Take care also of the technique and the translation.
Und ich bete darum, dass du auch hilfst der Technik und der Übersetzung.
Help us, Brother Lawrence, to be clear and to make us understand his points.
Und gib, dass Bruder Lorenz auch die Punkte klar machen kann.
And keep Satan away from us, please.
Und halte Satan weg von uns.
In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesu Namen.
Amen.
Okay, good evening everybody.
Guten Abend.
So, let's open our notes.
Und lasst uns unsere Notizen öffnen.
And we will open with a well-known quote.
Wir lesen dort ein sehr bekanntes Zitat.
It says, when Jesus began his public ministry, he cleansed the temple from its sacrilegious profanation. Almost the last act of his ministry was to cleanse the temple again. So, how many temple cleansings?
Wie viele Tempelreinigungen gibt es?
Two temple cleansings.
2.
Okay. So, and we understand when this is now the line of Christ,
Wenn das nun die Linie Jesu ist,
where are the two temple cleansings?
wo sind dann die 2 Tempelreinigungen?
Which one?
The line on top.
Second.
Okay. Temple cleansing here. Temple cleansing here. Right?
Also hier gibt es die 2 Tempelreinigungen.
So it's the beginning and the end of his ministry.
Am Anfang und am Ende seines Dienstes.
Okay, but we understand this Sunday law is the same as this Sunday law here.
Und wir verstehen, dass dieses Sonntagsgesetz ist dasselbe wie dieses Sonntagsgesetz.
So therefore, obviously, we have two temple cleansings also here.
Also haben wir auch 2 Tempelreinigungen hier.
Okay. And this fractal is this here.
Und dieses Fraktal ist hier ausgebreitet.
So therefore,
Same again,
yes,
all the way along.
with a temple cleansing here
Also haben wir auch wieder hier Tempelreinigung.
and a temple cleansing here at the end, right?
Und auch am Ende haben wir noch einmal eine Tempelreinigung.
But
Aber,
this is also this, okay.
und das ist auch das.
Yeah. Therefore, what is missing here?
Was fehlt noch hier?
Temple cleansing, okay.
Tempelreinigung.
And here,
Und hier auch.
temple cleansing, right? So, alright. And we are just before midnight,
Und wir sind gerade vor Mitternacht.
and therefore we're just before this temple cleansing, or maybe we're already in it, okay? We
Und
haven't
darum
just
sind
seen it
wir
yet.
vor dieser Tempelreinigung oder sind wir bereits in der Tempelreinigung.
And we just haven't seen it yet.
Und wir haben sie noch nicht gesehen.
But the point is, it always starts a little bit beforehand, but then it comes a point where it will be manifested. Okay.
Also es startet schon ein bisschen früher, aber dann kommt ein Punkt, wo es eben manifestiert wird.
It's the combination of the human and divine that symbolizes.
Yes, yes, we're good.
Die Kombination von göttlichen und menschlichen, die trennt es dann.
That causes separation.
Yes.
Ja, das macht diese Trennung.
Because this was 2014, right?
Das ist 2014.
Okay, and this would be then 2016.
Das war 2016.
Okay. And when we think back on 2014, how was this temple cleansing taking place back then?
2014, wie hat diese Tempelreinigung stattgefunden?
Light came, and there was an argument about the light never got accepted, separation.
Also es ist Licht gekommen und dann hat es eben Argumente, Diskussionen darüber gegeben und dann die einen haben es einfach abgelehnt.
So if I remember, there was like a certain disaffection going on for some time. Okay.
Also da hat es eine Unzufriedenheit gegeben und für eine gewisse Zeit.
Okay, and then the Lord sent light,
Und dann hat der Herr Licht geschickt.
and those that were disaffected beforehand, most of them they then rebelled against the light. Okay.
Und diejenigen, die eben vorher schon unzufrieden waren, die haben dann rebelliert gegen dieses Licht.
And then there was like in a very quick succession, the majority of the movement left.
Und in einer sehr kurzen Zeit hat die Mehrheit der Gruppe hat verlassen.
Yes. So in 2016,
2016,
there was also separation, right?
da war auch eine Trennung.
Yeah. And the separation in 2016 was just the result of disaffections going on beforehand already for some time. Okay.
Und diese 2016, das war eben das Resultat von dieser Unzufriedenheit, die schon vorher angefangen hat.
So it's always something that goes on first in secret in the heart, right?
Und das fängt immer an mit etwas Geheimen im Herzen.
And then people start speaking behind the scenes with each other about
Und
these
dann
things.
fangen Leute hinter
In Kulissen.
den Kulissen an, fangen sie an zu reden darüber.
Yeah. And these seeds get sown and they grow.
Und dann wachsen diese Samen.
But then the Lord eventually brings it to a decision, okay?
Und dann bringt sie der Herr zu einer Entscheidung.
By sending light, and then
Indem dass er Licht schickt
these things get manifested, right?
und dann werden sie offenbar.
So, and I want to suggest to you this evening, okay?
Und ich möchte euch vorschlagen diesen Abend,
That this temple cleansing will be obviously fully manifested here at midnight,
dass die Tempelreinigung hier manifestiert wird um Mitternacht.
but that already now there must be something going on in people's hearts, okay?
Und da muss aber bereits etwas vorwärts gehen in den Herzen von Menschen.
Because those that will be cleansed out,
Diejenigen, die hinausgereinigt werden,
they must already now prepare themselves to be cleansed out here. Okay?
und sie werden sich bereits jetzt vorbereiten, damit sie eben hinausgereinigt werden.
Because this is just the manifestation of it.
Denn das ist nur das Offenbarwerden hier.
Okay, so you must really check your own heart, whether there's any seed of disaffection and murmuring and complaining and unbelief and all these things going on in your own heart.
Also da musst dich selber kontrollieren, ob eben Unzufriedenheit oder Unglauben in deinem Herzen bereits vorhanden ist.
Okay, so let us go to Matthew 21.
Matthäus 21 gehen wir.
So let's read Matthew 21 verses 10 to 12.
Matthäus 21, 10 bis 12.
And this speaks now about the second temple cleansing.
Es redet über die zweite Tempelreinigung.
Okay, so in principle this would be here then at midnight. Okay,
Das würde hier an Mitternacht sein.
in principle.
Im
In Prinzip. Ja, vom Prinzip her.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's read verse 10 to 12.
10 bis 12.
Brother Mark, you want to read verse 10 to 12?
And when he was coming to Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, "Who is this?" And the multitude says, "This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee." And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves.
Okay, so first of all, what did Jesus do?
Was hat Jesus getan?
Very first thing what it said.
Das erste, was er gemacht hat.
Went into the temple.
Yes, he came into the temple.
Mhm.
Okay, And according to John 1 verse 1, what you didn't translate it. He came into the temple.
ist in den Tempel gekommen.
Okay. So, and according to John 1 verse 1,
Gemäß Johannes 1, Vers 1.
who's Jesus?
Wer ist Jesus?
It's the Word, right?
Das ist das Wort.
So the message comes into the temple,
Also die Botschaft ist in den Tempel gekommen.
which is the church, or which is you as an individual, right?
Was eben die Gemeinde ist, oder was?
Du als Individuum.
Oder du als Individuum.
Okay, because we are the temple, right?
Wir sind der Tempel.
Okay, so now let's go to the next quote.
Nächstes Zitat.
Because when Jesus came into the temple, the word came, the message came, the light came, the separation took place.
Also wo Jesus in den Tempel gekommen ist, da ist das Licht in den Tempel gekommen und die Trennung hat stattgefunden.
So let's read now this next quote.
Das nächste Zitat.
Read this fast.
Yes. The coming of Christ as our high priest to the most holy place for the cleansing of the sanctuary brought to view in Daniel 8:14. The coming of the Son of Man to the Ancient of Days is presented in Daniel 7:13, and the coming of the Lord to his temple foretold by Malachi are descriptions of the same event, and this is also represented by the coming of the bridegroom to the marriage described by Christ in the parable of the 10 virgins of Matthew 25.
Okay, so she speaks about October 22nd, right?
Sie redet über den 22. Oktober.
Okay, and what happened here? Where did Christ come to?
Wo ist dann Jesus hingekommen am 22. Oktober?
Most holy place. For one century.
Okay,
The most holy place.
according to what we just read and spoke about.
The temple.
To his temple,
Er
yes.
ist in den
Okay.
Tempel gekommen.
As foretold by
Malachi.
Malachi.
Und so ist es vorhergesagt durch Maleachi.
Okay, so October 22nd would be this waymark, right?
Der
On the line.
22. Oktober ist diese Wegmarkierung dort.
So, 22nd, here also. But, right, this is also this, right?
Also diese Wegmarkierung ist auch diese hier.
Okay, this is this, okay.
Und diese Wegmarkierung ist auch diese hier.
This is this.
That's on the wall.
Okay.
That's on the-
So, therefore this is also October 22nd here.
Und das ist auch 22. Oktober.
And midnight therefore also must typify October 22nd, right?
Mitternacht typifiziert auch den 22. Oktober.
Okay. It's a shut door.
Das ist eine geschlossene Tür.
Okay. Alright, so and therefore we can see Jesus comes here into his temple. Right?
Jesus kommt in seinen Tempel.
That's the second temple cleansing, right?
Das ist die zweite Tempelreinigung.
Okay. And it says as foretold by Malachi.
So wie es vorhergesagt ist durch Maleachi.
Now let's go to Malachi chapter 3.
Maleachi
verse
3
1 and
gehen
2.
wir.
Philip, you want to read Malachi 3 verse 1 and 2 fast, please?
Maleachi 3, 1 bis 2.
Because that is what she refers to here.
Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap.
Yes. Okay, so when he comes to his temple, what is the question?
Als er in den Tempel kommt, was ist dort die Frage?
Who shall stand?
Yes, who shall stand?
Wer
Okay.
kann stehen?
So, and it's the day of his coming, right?
Das ist der Tag seines Kommens.
So, in Sister White, she, unfortunately, I forgot to put this quote in, but what does she link this day of his coming here of Malachi with?
Mit welchem Tag verbindet sie das Kommen in Maleachi hier?
Ask that question again.
Okay, maybe let me find this quote. It's in Patriarchs and Prophets.
In Patriarchen und Propheten.
Let's go to PP 339.1.
in Patriarchen und Propheten 339.1. 1.
Mhm. And also paragraph 2. I will
1
just-
und 2.
I will just put it in the live stream now. Okay, we don't have to read all of it, we just read bits and pieces here.
Wir lesen nicht alles, sondern nur gewisse Teile.
Okay, let's read the first bit where she quotes Malachi. Or let us just read the first paragraph.
Lass uns den ersten Paragraphen lesen.
It says, "The time is not far distant when God will arise to vindicate his insulted authority. The Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity." Isaiah 6 verse 21. So, what is she speaking about?
Worüber redet sie jetzt?
When does the Lord come to punish the wicked?
Seven last page.
Yes.
Wann kommt er, die Bösen zu bestrafen?
It's the second coming, right?
Das ist das zweite
It's the
Kommen,
day of the Lord.
der Tag des Herrn.
Okay, but then now she quotes and says, "But who may abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth?" Malachi 3 verse 2. So where does she also apply Malachi 3 verse 2?
Second coming.
To the second coming, right? To the seven last plagues.
Also sie vergleicht es auch mit den sieben letzten Plagen und mit seinem zweiten Kommen.
Yeah, so we understand who came here the second time?
Wer ist hier das zweite Mal gekommen?
To whom? Christ to John, right?
Christus zu Johannes.
Yeah, so we understand therefore October 22nd typifies the second coming.
Der 22. Oktober typifiziert das zweite Kommen.
Yeah, so
9/11 also.
yes, 9/11 also.
Der 11. September auch ist ein Typus dafür.
Okay, so therefore here Malachi 3 verse 2 marks this waymark, okay?
Also Malachi 3, Vers 2 markiert diese Wegmarkierung.
So he comes suddenly to his temple and the question is who may abide in the day of his coming?
Er kommt plötzlich zu seinem Tempel und wer mag stehen sein Kommen.
And then let's jump down to the next paragraph
Und dann lesen wir den nächsten Paragraphen,
because she now connects this here. It
denn sie
says,
verbindet das hier.
yes, it says, "When the divine presence was manifested upon Mount Sinai, the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire in the sight of all Israel. But when Christ shall come in glory with his holy angels, the whole earth shall be ablaze with the terrible light of his presence." Okay, so here we can see she connects this with Mount Sinai and with the second coming.
Also sie verbindet es mit dem Berg Sinai und mit seinem zweiten Kommen.
Yes. Okay. So we can clearly see Malachi 3 verse 2 marks this waymark here, right?
Also Malachi 3,2 markiert diese Wegmarkierung hier.
Okay. Alright, so everybody can follow so far?
Kann jeder folgen?
Okay. So now let's go back to our notes.
Und jetzt gehen wir zurück zu unseren Notizen.
And let's go to the next quote.
Zum nächsten Zitat.
And here she speaks about the first temple cleansing. Okay?
Hier redet sie über die erste Tempelreinigung.
And she says, "In the cleansing of the temple, Jesus was announcing his mission as the Messiah and entering upon his work." And now let's go down to the next bold-faced.
Lasst uns gehen zum nächsten Fettgedruckten.
It says, "In cleansing the temple from the world's buyers and sellers, Jesus announced his mission to cleanse the heart from the defilement of sin, from the earthly desires, the selfish lusts, the evil habits that corrupt the soul." So, when he now comes and cleanses the temple for the first time,
Wenn er kommt und das erste Mal den Tempel reinigt hier,
what is he announcing?
was proklamiert er?
Beginning of his work.
Yes, the beginning of his work. Okay,
Den Beginn seiner Arbeit?
but what kind of work?
Welche Arbeit?
Bring the heart through a fiery trial.
Er bringt
Yes.
das Herz durch eine feurige Prüfung.
Right? Yes, to cleanse it, right? So
zu reinigen.
so it's a work of cleansing. Okay.
Das ist eine Arbeit des Reinigens.
So from here to here, he wants to cleanse your heart. Okay.
Von hier bis hier möchte er dein Herz reinigen.
Okay. But now let's continue what she quotes now in connection with this.
Und dann lesen wir, was sie im Zusammenhang damit zitiert.
It says, "The Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire and like a fuller's soap, and he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver." Malachi 3, verse 1 to 3. So therefore, what do we have marked here at the beginning?
Und was haben wir dann hier markiert am Anfang?
Second coming.
Malachi 3, verse 2.
Malachi 3, Vers 2.
That's where he wants to come, but the Lord holds him. It says, hold until the servants of God be sealed.
Das ist halte, bis das die Knechte versiegelt sind.
It's another evidence to show that Christ wants to come there and pour out the seven last plagues, or the Father wants to pour out the seven last plagues, but Christ says, hold, I want to do this work of cleansing first, and then you can pour them out.
Yes.
Also der Vater möchte kommen und möchte die 7 letzten Plagen ausgießen, aber Jesus sagt, halte, und er möchte die Reinigung ausführen und dann erst die 7 Plagen.
Yes. Okay. And when he came here the first time into the temple, was there also a separation?
Als er das erste Mal in den Tempel gekommen ist, ist da auch eine Trennung, hat eine Trennung stattgefunden?
Yes, right? Okay, and according to these verses, whom did he cleanse out? Or according to this sentence here?
The money changers.
Gemäß dieses Verses, wen hat er hinausgereinigt?
The money changers,
Die
right?
Geldwechsler.
Because it says here, when you just go up one sentence,
Wenn ihr einen Vers hinaufgeht,
it says, "The courts of the temple at Jerusalem, filled with a tumult of unholy traffic, represented all too truly the temple of the heart, defiled by the presence of sensual passion and unholy thoughts. In cleansing the temple from the world's buyers and sellers, Jesus announced his mission to cleanse the heart from the defilement of sin, from the earthly desires, the selfish lusts, the evil habits that corrupt the soul." So, therefore, those that got cleansed out here,
also diejenigen, die hier hinausgereinigt worden sind,
and what did they cherish in their hearts?
was haben sie getragen in ihrem Herzen?
They were money changers.
Yes.
Sie waren Geldwechsler.
They cherished all these evil things, these passions, and all these evil thoughts. Okay.
Sie haben diese schlechten Gedanken in ihrem Herzen getragen.
Okay, but what time was before that?
Welche Zeit war davor?
A time of peace.
Yes, a time of peace, right?
Eine Zeit des Friedens.
Because that's the civil Sunday law, or this would be 9/11, right?
Also das ist der 11. September oder das Zivilsonntagsgesetz davor.
Okay. So if you look at this, it's 9/11. If you look at this, it's a civil Sunday.
Also wenn du hier schaust, dann ist es der 11. September und wenn du hier schaust, ist das Zivilsonntagsgesetz davor.
Okay, therefore we can see, right? Because this marks, what does this mark here?
Was markiert das hier?
What do you mean?
Okay.
Second coming.
Yes, okay. And the second coming is the?
Und das markiert das zweite
It's
Kommen.
the temple cleansing.
Yes, it's a temple cleansing.
Das
Okay.
ist eine Tempelreinigung.
It's the end again.
Yes.
Okay.
Ist wieder das Ende.
Because here this would be 1989 and this would be 2014, right?
Das wäre hier wieder 1989 oder 2014 davor.
And therefore this would be a temple cleansing here
Das würde eine Tempelreinigung sein.
and this would be a temple cleansing.
Das würde eine Tempelreinigung sein.
So therefore we can see therefore this pattern here
Dieses Muster hier
is just this here, right?
ist genau dieses hier.
So
It's about money.
so here we have again this little time of peace.
Wir haben wieder diese kleine Zeit des Friedens.
And then Jesus would come here and cleanse the temple the first time.
Und dann kommt Jesus wieder und reinigt den Tempel das erste Mal.
So he always cleanses the temple at the beginning of the time of trouble and at the end of the time of trouble.
Reinigt den Tempel am Anfang der Trübsal und am Ende der Trübsal.
And it just shows that also in this little time of peace here, we must make sure that we don't allow the money changers to come in our heart, right?
Und wir müssen auch in der kleinen Zeit des Friedens Acht geben, dass nicht die Geldwechsler Besitz nehmen von unseren Herzen.
Because otherwise we get cleansed out immediately here.
Und sonst werden wir hinausgereinigt hier.
Okay, so, alright, everybody can see the pattern and follow along?
Kann jeder folgen diesem Muster?
Alright, good. Then, then let's go back to Matthew 21,
Matthäus 21 gehen wir.
because let's read verse 12 again, and let's see again what Jesus did when he entered the temple.
21 Vers 12. Was hat Jesus gemacht, wenn er in den Tempel hineingekommen ist?
And David, you want to read verse 12 for us, please?
21, 12.
Matthew 21, 12. The very top.
And Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves.
Okay. So, so we can see there's a casting out taking place.
Also es findet statt ein Hinauswerfen.
Okay. So what other stories come in your mind where it says cast him out?
Welche andere Geschichten kommen in eure Gedanken, wo es heißt, werft hinaus?
Yes, right. Let's go maybe in Matthew 22.
Matthäus 22.
And let's read verse 11 to 13.
11 bis 13.
And Daniel, want to read this first, please?
When the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding gown. He said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding gown, and was speechless? Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Yes. Okay. So those that don't have a wedding garment on will be cast out, right?
Diejenigen, die kein Hochzeitskleid anhaben, werden hinausgeworfen.
Okay. And we understand. So if we, this is this casting out at the end, right?
Das ist das Hinauswerfen am Ende.
So, because what takes place in here?
Was findet statt hier?
Yes, investigative judgment.
Das
Right?
Untersuchungsgericht.
Okay. Investigative judgment of the living, right? So, therefore, in some sense, this takes place since 2016 among us, okay?
Also das findet statt unter uns seit 2016.
Okay. I mean, we're not truly judged in this fullest sense, okay, in the sense that our eternal destiny is not fixed here in the sense that you get the seal.
Also
Okay.
unser ewiges Schicksal ist noch nicht hier festgelegt, komplett hier,
In the sense that we can get the seal already.
dass wir das Siegel bereits bekommen können.
But definitely, you can lose your soul here, okay?
Aber du kannst deine Seele verlieren hier.
Okay. And so basically, when Jesus comes here and cleanses the temple, he will cast you out if you don't have what on?
Also wenn Jesus kommt hier und er wird dich hinausschmeißen, wenn du was nicht hast,
Yeah, the wedding gown.
das
Okay.
Hochzeitskleid.
So therefore, we also need now to make sure that we have on the wedding garment.
Darum müssen wir sicher sein, dass wir das Hochzeitskleid anhaben.
Okay. All right. And it's and it says, yeah, it's those that sell and buy, and we saw it's those that have all this worldly mindset, these worldly cares, right?
Also alle diejenigen, die kaufen und verkaufen, diese weltlichen Gedankengut haben,
That cherish all these unholy passions and all these things in their heart. Okay?
diese unheiligen Leidenschaften in ihren Herzen
Dass sie hegen.
hegen.
Yes. Okay. So it's a difference between having unholy thoughts here and there, okay,
Also es ist ein Unterschied zwischen unheiligen Gedanken zu haben hier und dort
and cherishing these things.
und sie hegen, diese Gedanken hegen.
Because you must make a decision to cherish something.
Du musst eine Entscheidung machen, um diese Gedanken zu hegen.
But you can make also a decision to go to God and confess everything that is evil in you and repent of it.
Du kannst auch zu Gott gehen und Buße darüber tun, über all das, was böse ist in deinem Herzen.
Okay. So, and what did Jesus do?
Was hat Jesus getan?
It says, so he cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple and overthrew the tables of the money changers. Okay, so what is the table in the Bible?
Was ist der Tisch?
Okay. Maybe let's go to Malachi
Malachi,
chapter 1.
Malachi 1.
It's like a lawsuit.
Das ist der Tisch.
Yes, that's true. Malachi chapter 1,
Malachi 1,
and let's read verse 7.
1, Vers 7.
And I think Ben, it's your turn.
Ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and ye say, wherein have we polluted we? And what ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible.
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 Yes. Okay, so here they say the table of the Lord is contemptible, right?
Sie sagen hier, der Tisch des Herrn ist verächtlich.
And also in verse 12.
Vers 12
this is
auch.
Daniela, you want to read this for us?
But ye have profaned it, and what ye say, the table of the Lord is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible.
Yes. Okay. So it was it's about the table of the Lord, right?
Es ist gegangen über den Tisch des Herrn.
And what are the tables of the Lord?
Was sind die Tische des Herrn?
2 jars, 2 tables of stone, the fleshly tables of your heart. That's where he wants to put his law.
Yes.
Also die 2 Tafeln, dann auch
Also die 2 Karten.
ja, die 2 Karten und auch die fleischlichen Tafeln unseres Herzens.
Yes. And also this table, right?
Und auch diese Tafel.
Because what table is this table here?
Was ist das für eine Tafel?
Center table.
Yes, it's the center table.
Das ist die zentrale Tafel.
Based upon Miller's dream, right?
Basierend auf Millers Traum.
Okay. So if you say the message of the Lord, what he wants to give you to eat on this table is contemptible.
Wenn du sagst, die Botschaft des Herrn, die er dir gibt auf dieser Tafel, ist verächtlich,
Or that gives you on these 2 charts,
oder die er dir gibt auf diesen 2 Karten,
then basically you eat from a different table, right?
dann isst du von einem anderen Tisch.
And it was the tables of the money changers.
Und das war der Tisch von den Geldwechslern.
Okay, so and Jesus cast these tables of the money changers, or overthrew the tables of the money changers.
Und Jesus hat diese Tische von den Geldwechslern umgeworfen.
Therefore, what will he do here?
Was wir da tun hier,
It's revealing all the idols in your heart. It's overthrowing it, basically.
Yes, okay.
also er wird diese Götzen in deinem Herzen offenbaren und er wird sie umwerfen.
But for instance,
He makes you drink the cup.
that's okay. Maybe my question is too broad. Okay.
Meine Frage ist zu weitschichtig.
Okay, because is there also another message in this movement on the
Gibt es
table, on the
auch
center table.
eine andere Botschaft in dieser Bewegung, also als zentrale Tafel.
Yes.
Yes, right. So because right here, what will the Lord do
Was wird der Herr hier tun,
when you think on Mount Carmel?
wenn du an Berg Karmel denkst?
Slay them.
Okay.
Bestätigen.
Yes, he will prove who's the true prophet, right?
Er wird bestätigen, wer der richtige Prophet ist
And who has a false table.
und wer einen falschen Tisch hat.
Okay, so he will overthrow all the false messages here and will prove the true message.
Er wird alle falschen Botschaften hier überwerfen und er wird bestätigen die richtige Botschaft.
Because just Lord always wants to show us that those that proclaim a false message, they have worldly interests in their hearts. Okay,
Diejenigen, die eine falsche Botschaft verkündigen, haben weltliche Interessen in ihren Herzen.
and their worldly interests are represented on their tables.
Und
okay.
ihre weltlichen Interessen sind dargestellt auf diesen Tischen.
It's on their tables. It's their message, which is driven by worldly gain, basically.
Also auf ihren Tischen wird die falsche Botschaft dargestellt, die von ihren weltlichen Ansichten kommt.
Because when you go to First Peter or Second Peter, I think it is.
2. Petrus,
2 Peter chapter 2.
2. Petrus 2.
And let's read verse 1 to 3.
1 bis 3.
This is Susie, it's your turn. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1 to 3.
But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you who
Bring in. Privately.
privately shall bring the damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their
Pernicious.
pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be ill spoken of. And through covetousness shall they with
Feigned.
feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not.
Yes. Okay, so what does it say? What do these false prophets do?
Was sagt es hier? Was machen die falschen Propheten?
The covetous.
Yes, they're covetous and
Sie
they
sind
make
gierig
merchandise of you.
und
Okay.
sie machen einen Handel daraus.
And on Mount Carmel, there were the false prophets and the true prophet, right?
Also am Berg Karmel waren die falschen Propheten und der richtige Prophet.
So it shows us that the false prophets are these money changers, right?
Die falschen Propheten sind diese Geldwechsler
And on their tables, and that's their tables, right?
und auf ihren Tischen
Yeah, they had all this money stacked on.
und da ist all dieses Geld liegt drauf.
And the Lord said it's a representation of their worldly desires, their unholy passions, and all these things. Okay?
Das sind ihre weltlichen Lüste und unheiligen
Leidenschaften.
Leidenschaften.
Ja.
Ja.
So, in a sense, you can see that their message is therefore a representation of these evils that are in their hearts. Okay?
Und diese Botschaften, die sie bringen, sind eine Darstellung von dem Bösen, was sie haben in ihrem Herzen.
And it's actually just worldly gain what they want. Okay.
Das ist weltlicher Gewinn, den sie haben wollen.
Okay. Yes, you want to say something?
We can say that they are eating from the table of their own hearts. And in Isaiah 4, verse 1, it says, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. So it's also
Also sie essen von ihrem eigenen Herzen. Und in Jesaja 4 steht, wir werden
their own garments.
Wir essen unser eigenes Brot und
Wir essen unser eigenes Brot.
tragen unsere eigene Kleidung.
Wir tragen unsere eigene Kleidung.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So, because the Lord gives you over, right? That's what he says in Romans 1.
Also der Herr übergibt sie dem, so wie es steht in Römer 1.
Okay. So, and we obviously, we must check our own hearts, you know, if we cherish any worldly position, gain, honor, you
Wir
know,
müssen
aspirations and all these things.
Eigene Herzen überprüfen, was wir wollen, was unsere eigenen Lüste und Begierden und Darstellungen einfach sind.
Okay. So, but now let's go back to this last point on what Jesus did.
Dann gehen wir zurück zu dem letzten Punkt, was Jesus getan hat.
In Matthew 21 verse 12 it says,
Matthäus 21, Vers 12.
So, and Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves. Okay, so what did they sell there?
Was haben sie verkauft dort?
Doves.
Sie haben Tauben verkauft.
And what is a dove a representation of?
Wovon ist eine Taube eine Darstellung?
What does the Bible say?
Was sagt die Bibel?
Peace. Yes. Okay.
Das ist von Frieden.
Okay, so they are sitting in the temple of God, so they are sitting in the church, right?
Sie sitzen in der Gemeinde
And they sell this message of peace, right?
und sie verkaufen diese Botschaft des Friedens.
Okay, and that's actually something that the Bible speaks of in many different stories. Okay,
Und darüber redet die Bibel in vielen verschiedenen anderen Geschichten.
because we truly have a little time of peace here. Right?
Denn wirklich haben wir eine kleine Zeit des Friedens hier.
But there's also a counterfeit, obviously, to this.
Und da gibt es auch eine Fälschung dafür.
Okay, let's look at this, and I cannot say that I fully figured it out yet, but I'm looking at this at for some time. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter
Jeremia.
6, verse 1.
Jeremia 6,
It's also on page 2 of your notes.
auf Seite 2 in euren Notizen. Jeremia 6,
Yes, Jeremiah 6, verse 1.
6, 1.
It says, O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekoa, and set up a sign of fire in Beth Herikrim, for evil appeareth out of the north, and great destruction. So what are they to do here?
Was machen sie hier?
Or what are they to do? Was sollen sie machen?
Was sollen sie machen?
Gather yourself and flee out the midst of Jerusalem.
Yes, they are to flee out of Jerusalem, right?
Sie sollen aus Jerusalem herausfliehen.
And where do we mark this?
Wo markieren wir das?
Yes, right. So you have to flee out of Jerusalem here.
Hier musst du fliehen aus Jerusalem.
Why?
Warum?
What does it say here?
Was sagt es hier?
For evil comes out of the north.
Yes, evil cometh out of
Denn
north,
Böses
right?
kommt von dem Norden heraus.
Okay, keep your finger here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 1.
Hesekiel 1 gehen wir jetzt.
And let's read verse 1.
1,1.
It says, Now it came to pass in the 30th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Chebar, that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. So sticks us right here at midnight, right?
Das ist wieder hier am Mitternacht.
And now let's read verse 4.
Vers 4 lesen wir.
And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north,
Und
a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. So here we can see what comes out of the north here.
was kommt vom Norden heraus?
The whirlwind,
Der
right?
Sturmwind.
Okay, so he sees now this whirlwind coming out of the north here.
Er
Okay.
sieht diesen Sturmwind kommen vom Norden.
Okay, and maybe I misapply this, but as I understand it at the moment,
Vielleicht sage ich es falsch, aber so wie ich es verstehe jetzt,
He sees this whirlwind coming back out of the north, coming very soon. Okay,
und er hat gesehen, dass dieser Sturmwind sehr bald zurückkommen wird hier.
because this is Jeremiah 37 when he says he will return.
Denn das ist das, was auch steht in Jeremia 37, er sagt, er wird zurückkommen.
And that's why it says flee out of Jerusalem.
Und darum sagt es, flüchte von Jerusalem.
Okay, let's go now to Jeremiah 4.
Jeremia 4 gehen wir.
Because here it also speaks about this whirlwind that Ezekiel saw.
Da spricht es auch über den Sturmwind, den Hesekiel gesehen hat.
Okay, let's read Jeremiah 4. Let's read the verses 5 to 6. 5 to 6. Verse 5 bis 6.
Ich habe Deutsch.
Ich weiß, aber du musst übersetzen. Ja. Du hast nicht gesagt, welche
Ach
Verse.
so, okay, Entschuldigung. Jeremia 4, 5 bis 6.
Okay, it says, Declare ye in Judah and publish in Jerusalem and say, Blow ye the trumpet in the land. Cry, gather together and say, Assemble yourselves and let us go into the defense cities. Set up the standard toward Zion, retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. So also here, right, it says this evil comes from the north.
Also hier steht auch, dass dieses Böse vom Norden kommt.
And now let's jump down to verse 12 to
Vers 12 lesen wir jetzt,
13.
bis 13.
Even a full wind from those places shall come unto me. Now also will I give sentence against them. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. So, who's coming there against them?
Wer kommt gegen sie?
Who was it that came out of the north?
Wer war es, der vom Norden gekommen ist?
Yes, it was Nebuchadnezzar. Right?
Es war Nebukadnezar.
Okay, and he's now called this whirlwind that comes out of the north. Right?
Der wird dieser Wirbelsturm genannt, der von dem Norden kommt.
Okay. And then it says, O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. Okay, this refers to this work of cleansing your heart.
Das bezieht sich auf diese Waschen des Herzens,
Because he also comes and cleanses the temple here again.
denn er reinigt den Tempel hier wieder.
Okay. So, let's go to Jeremiah 6. Back to Jeremiah 6.
Jeremia 6 gehen wir zurück.
So it says basically here in verse 1, O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourselves to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem, and blow the trumpet in Tekoa, and set up a sign of fire in Beth Hakerem, for evil appeareth out of the north, and great destruction. And let's jump down now to verse 14.
Vers 14 lesen wir.
Or let's read verse 13 to 14.
13, 14.
For from the least of them, even unto the greatest of them, everyone is given to covetousness. And from the prophet, even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, Peace, peace, when there is no peace. Okay, so what are these false prophets here prophesying?
Was prophezeien die falschen Propheten hier?
Peace.
Peace.
Frieden.
Okay.
Selling doves.
Yes, they're selling doves, exactly.
Sie verkaufen die Tauben.
So, as I understand it, okay, they give in this time here a message about this time and say basically it's still a time of peace. Okay.
Also sie geben hier über diese Zeit eine Botschaft und sagen, es ist noch Frieden.
Because what are we always to do?
Denn was müssen wir immer tun?
Yeah, we are always to give a prediction about the next Wema. Okay.
Denn wir müssen immer eine Vorhersage geben über den nächste
So,
Wegmarkierung.
When we are in the time of peace, we give a prediction about the time of trouble, right?
Wenn wir in der Zeit des Friedens sind, dann geben wir eine Vorhersage über die Zeit des Trübsal.
I don't know that that's correct. They're not getting that far where they're giving a prediction about that. They're getting cut off at midnight there.
Yes, but it speaks about now other false prophets here. Okay. I'm not referring to those that get cut off here. That's not these guys here.
Why not?
Because they get cut off here.
Alright. I don't know that I'm following you, but go on.
So, because we understand, right, here's a temple cleansing.
Hier ist
Okay.
eine Tempelreinigung.
So, people get cut off here, get cleansed out.
Hier werden Leute hinausgereinigt.
But here will come people up that will proclaim a time of peace when they should proclaim a time of trouble.
Aber
Okay.
hier werden Leute aufkommen, die eine Zeit des Friedens proklamieren, wenn aber gesagt werden soll, dass eine Zeit des Trübsal kommt.
Because it says here, saying peace, peace, when there is no peace. Right?
Sie sagen Friede, Friede, wenn da ist kein
And
Frieden.
Jeremiah in verse 1 said, there comes this evil out of the north.
Und Jeremia sagt, da kommt dieses Böse aus dem Norden.
Okay, so he's proclaiming a time of trouble, but they proclaim a time of peace.
Er verkündigt die Zeit der Trübsal, aber sie verkündigen die Zeit des Friedens.
Okay. And I'm open to be corrected on this.
Ich bin bereit, darüber
But is it
korrigiert
not-
zu werden.
Is that not speaking about Nebuchadnezzar?
Redet es nicht hier über
Yes.
Nebukadnezar?
And Nebuchadnezzar comes at this way mark and takes them into captivity.
Nebukadnezar kommt hier und nimmt sie in Gefangenschaft, sagt er.
That's what I'm saying. Sure Jeremiah 6 is speaking about this time.
But it's not speaking about the time when they are brought into captivity. It's speaking about when he comes to destroy Jerusalem.
Yes, no, I understand that, and this destruction of Jerusalem is at the end there.
Yes. But I want to mark it because that's the end and the beginning, right?
Yes, but I want to just say that context-wise, I maybe not followed, but I thought you were talking about, see, this time, these false prophets, they're giving a peace and safety message. And as far as I know, because for them to get cleansed out for selling these doves, it's something that they're doing beforehand, it's not something that they're doing after. And they're selling the doves, it's like you're trying to buy your way to heaven, you know, because the dove coming down is the wedding garment, right? And you can't purchase that, you know, and they're trying to work their way
Yes.
to heaven, that's what I understand.
Yes, yes. No, what I want to show is basically, okay, that I want to show this principle that there are people proclaiming peace when there is no peace. Okay.
Also was ich zeigen möchte, ist, dass Leute Frieden verkündigen, wenn kein Friede ist.
And I first want to apply these verses, and I'm open that I might misapply them here, but I want to apply them first here. Okay.
Und ich möchte sie am Anfang hier anwenden.
Because that's how I see them at the moment applied. Okay.
Und so sehe ich sie zu diesem Zeitpunkt als angewendet.
But you can then, because this whole line is also this here, right?
Welche?
Because this whole
Diese
line
ganze
is
Linie ist
also this.
auch diese hier.
Okay. So basically, you can then see people proclaiming a false peace and safety message in here.
Also man kann sehen, dass Leute hier eine falsche Friedensbotschaft bringen.
Yeah. And basically, okay, some get cleansed out here and some gets cleansed out here. So
Also manche werden hier rausgereinigt und manche hier rausgereinigt.
in this sense, I just wanted to show this parallel, basically, that you have the doves sellers cleansed out here and the dove sellers cleansed out here.
Und hier sieht man eben die Taubenverkäufer hier und hier ausgereinigt.
I don't know, maybe I complicated the matters a little bit.
Vielleicht ist es ein bisschen ein schwieriges Thema hier.
No, vielleicht habe ich das zu kompliziert alles dargestellt. Okay. I don't know. Can anybody follow what I wanted to show?
No, I get what you want to show.
Jemand
but,
zeigen?
Okay, doesn't matter, I will have to look closely at this.
Okay. So doesn't matter. Let's maybe come to the conclusion.
Lass
Okay.
uns zum Schluss kommen.
And let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5.
1. Thessalonicher 5,
And let's read verse 1 to 3.
1 bis 3.
Okay. It says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So this you can now apply here to this one. Okay?
Also das kann man hier auf jeden Fall anwenden.
It's the day of the Lord,
Das ist der Tag des Herrn.
and here you can also see those that proclaim peace and safety beforehand.
Also diejenigen, die vorher schon Friede und Sicherheit proklamiert haben,
Yeah, they get cut off here.
sie werden hier abgeschnitten.
And let's go to Amos chapter 5,
Amos 5,
and let's read verse 18 to 20.
18 bis 20.
It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord! To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?" So, what does it say here?
Was sagt es hier?
Day of the Lord's a dark day.
Yes, it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord." Right?
Wehe denen, die den Tag des Herrn herbei wünschen.
But when you read Amos chapter 5 in its context, okay,
Amos 5, wenn wir einen Kontext dazu lesen,
it speaks about the wicked.
das redet über die
Okay.
Bösen.
Because there will be people looking forward to this event here at midnight.
Da wird es Leute geben, die auf diesen Vorfall hier schauen.
Yeah. But when it comes, they will actually get destroyed and not blessed. Okay.
Und wenn er kommt, dann werden sie zerstört und nicht gesegnet.
Yeah. And that's basically what the Lord wants to warn us.
Und das ist das,
Okay.
worüber der Herr uns warnen möchte.
Yeah, that this is either a blessing or it's a curse. Okay.
Das ist ein Segen oder ein Fluch.
So, and you can be deceived and deluded and say, "All right, I'm looking forward to this event."
Und du kannst verführt sein und sagen, oh, ich freue mich auf diesen Zeitpunkt.
Yeah. But eventually, when it comes, you get destroyed. Okay.
Und wenn es kommt, dann wirst du zerstört.
So therefore, we must really make sure that this can be an exceeding bright light to us and a joyous experience, because it's also joy marked here, right?
Es wird hier Freude markiert werden.
We must make sure that we are prepared. Okay.
Und wir müssen sicher sein, dass wir vorbereitet sind.
Yeah. Because this is also marked as a joyous experience here.
Denn das ist auch markiert als ein freudiges Erlebnis hier,
When we receive this exceeding bright light.
wenn wir das äußerst helle Licht empfangen.
But if we self-deceived and think, all right, I'm looking forward to this event, but you have known sin in your life and you have these evil passions cherished in your heart,
Aber wenn du verführt bist und wenn du deine bösen Absichten in deinem Herzen gewahrt hast,
not deceived, but self-deceived, is it?
wenn du dich selbst getäuscht hast
Yes. And you say, I'm looking forward to this event,
und du sagst, ich freue mich auf diesen Fall,
but you still have these things in your heart,
und wenn du immer noch diese Sachen hast in deinem Herzen,
then this is a day of darkness to you.
dann
Okay?
ist es ein Tag der Finsternis für dich.
Okay, so therefore we must make sure that we are prepared and that we are not among these money changers when Jesus enters into the temple.
Und darum müssen wir vorbereitet sein, dass wir nicht unter diesen Geldwechseln sind,
Okay, when Jesus enters the temple.
wenn Jesus den Tempel begeht.
Okay. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, so then let's close for this evening.
Dann lass uns schließen für diesen Abend.